Graphic 45 week on the Paper Crafters Library blog. Every day this week we will be featuring different projects using Graphic 45's gorgeous tropical travelogue collection. Today's project is a set of cards packaged in a decorated burlap bag. Because there are a lot of elements and techniques involved in this project, I've broken it up into 5 separate videos. In this video, I'm going to show you how I used Graphic 45's metal flowers and metal brads to create this dimensional flower which I used to embellish the front of the burlap bag. So let's get started. You're going to need a few elements. You're going to need a small and a large flower from Graphic 45's metal flowers. You're going to need Tim Holtz Distress Emboss ink from Ranger, as well as Tim Holtz Distress powder. This is an embossing powder, and I have 2 different colors here. One is the Faded Jeans and the other one is the Black Soot. And while I'm working, you will notice that I will be working over coffee filters. So I have 2 different coffee filters because I have 2 different colors of embossing powder, as well as I have some round nose small pliers. So we're going to start by working on our small flower here. So all you're going to do is add some of the Distress Emboss ink to the surface of the flower. And then, like I said, I'm working on the small flower. So I'm just patting that over the whole pad, squishing some of the ink onto my metal flower. You can set that aside. I'm going to set this into my coffee filter. I'm just going to pick up a small amount of my Faded Jeans and sprinkle it over my flower. So just sprinkling slightly onto the metal flower. You're adding less or more until you're satisfied with how much is on there. Then instead of heating this right away, I'm just going to keep working in that one filter. I'm going to now add a small amount or a pinch of my Black Soot. So again, I'm just pinking some up in my fingers and sprinkling it onto the metal. So because I am working in 2 different colors here, you will not be able to put this back into your container of your embossing powder, so it's a little bit contaminated, so make sure that you don't sprinkle this back in. So I'm just going to set aside both of my distress powders, and now I'm going to heat this with my heat tool. And you're just going to heat it until you see the embossing powder melt. And it just adds a very distressed, beautiful look to your metal flower, which you will then layer and curl. I'm only using the distress powder on the smallest flower here. I'm not going to add any color or anything to my larger flower because most of it will be hidden by my layers of my petals from my small one. So just keep heating that until your powder is completely melted, and you'll see that you are left with this really pretty look on your metal flower. Again, you'll notice I'm not touching this. You have heated metal, so be careful not to burn yourself. Allow it some time to cool before you start to work with this. But you can see that the embossing powder, the Distress Embossing powder, has added this really pretty color to my metal flower. So once that dries, I'm going to show you how to start to curl your flower to add dimension to your metal flowers. So while your smaller distressed flower is cooling, you're going to start working with your larger flower. And like I said, I'm going to use some round nose craft pliers. You could use needle nose pliers if you'd like to. All I'm going to do is start on one side of the petal and curl the petal backwards, curl the opposite edge of the petal backwards, and then the center of the petal, I'm going to curl it downwards too. You're going to repeat this. You can see here I have now this cupped shape on the back, and you can see that I've just curled it down. You're going to repeat this on all the petals, And once you have all your petal edges curled, you're then going to fold your petals upwards, creating that dimension on your flower. So just work around the petal, then your edge on all 5 petals, and then bend each petal upwards towards the center, and it will give you that cupped, natural looking flower. Once you have that done, you're going to repeat this process on your smaller flower that you added your distressing to. And you're just going to do this in the same manner. So curling each edge and then the center, repeating that. You just want to bend it back slightly. You don't want to over curl your petals. It would damage your metal, and once you've kind of bent it, it's a little hard to unbend it. It will leave a crease. So just be careful when you're working, and just remember that each flower does look different, so it's okay to make a slight mistake. Once you have your second flower, your smaller flower complete, you're going to lay these on top of one another, and I'm just going to offset my petals. And once you have your petals offset, you're going to insert a brad into the center to hold it all together. And here I'm using one of the metal brads from Graphic 45. So I'm just going to remove that from the package. Insert it into the center of the flower and open the prongs in the back. Securing the flower as one. So there you have our distressed multi-layered flower using metal flowers from Graphic 45. I hope you enjoyed stamping with me. As I mentioned earlier, because of the size of this project, there are 5 separate videos. All videos have been uploaded to YouTube as well as placed on our blog. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then be sure to click on the link in the video description section and it will take you to the post you see here. You'll be able to link to all the videos from there. At the end of the week, one lucky winner will receive this amazing collection of tropical travelogue products, generously provided by Graphic 45. All you have to do to enter is to leave us a comment in the same post where you accessed all of the videos for today's project. Be sure to visit our blog every day this week for more great projects using Graphic 45's tropical travelogue collection, and for more opportunities to win, as each day you leave a comment counts as one entry. See you on the blog!